Hi there. I have gotten multiple requests to talk more about how I journal. First of all, I would like to sincerely apologize for the background sound that you might hear throughout the video. My neighbor downstairs are doing some renovation, so there's gonna be a lot of hammer noises and sounds of people working. So, I've only kept 2 journals. There might be another one, a green book, but I've lost it somewhere, which is a bit terrifying actually, to know that my journal is out there somewhere, not in my hands, but it's okay. I've always liked leather journals. I don't know what is it about them. I have an anatomy journal, but it's hard for me to write in it because it just feels too pretty, which is like my bad because I bought this and I feel bad for not using it. I have this one. This is a wire bound. Yeah, it's a wire bound. I use it for like note taking, but recently I've noticed that I take notes better with my laptop. So I've never really used this to like journal, which is a bit of a waste of buying this actually, but yeah. Anyways, let's not talk about that. What I want to talk about is these 2 journals that I have. This is the journal that I used back in 2019, and this one is the one that I used in my early 20s. So I think I started using this in 2022. So I would say I've been consistently using the journal since 2019. But I think I've always been journaling ever since I was a child. If not on books, it will be on blogs, on Instagrams, on my notes app. First of all, I think if to anyone that is watching right now, if you feel like everybody around you tells you to journal but it doesn't feel right for you, then maybe it's not the right medium for you to express your feelings. I need people to understand that not everybody find journaling to be something that is natural to them. There's a lot of other mediums to express your feelings, and writing them down with a pen is not the only way. When you journal, if you don't write naturally or what's authentic to you, I find that it's a little bit redundant, because that should be the whole practice of journaling. So if you feel like it's not meaningful for you, then you should probably stop doing it. Second of all, I would like people to know that you don't need an expensive journal to start journaling. This is a unicorn book that I got, and this is a typo book. I know a lot of people on the internet has been telling other people that you need a Hobonichi book, Rhodia books, those Louis Carmen books. If you feel like you cannot afford it, do not try to go out of your way to buy it in order for you to start journaling. These books won't change your mindset and your attitude towards it. Also, whatever that I'm saying right now is also like a reminder to myself, so please do not be offended that I'm telling you to not buy certain things, because I'm also saying this to myself. Third is that, which is I think the whole point of the video, is you don't need a journal prompt. Let me clarify what I mean by that. There is a lot of TikTok accounts out there that loves to share journal prompts, and people think that you cannot write as long as you have a journal prompt. I would disagree, because journal prompts are supposed to direct you. It's supposed to guide you in writing your true feelings. But I would argue that it is just a way for you to overcome the barrier or overcome that struggle to start writing the first few sentences. But if you trust yourself well enough, I feel that a journal prompt is also going to be redundant. And I'm saying this based on my experiences. I remember when I started journaling, I didn't know what to write, obviously. I think the only reason why anybody will watch this video right now is because they don't know what to write. Whenever somebody gives them the pen, they just have no idea what to say, right? Yes, I've also been through that kind of moment, and I think it takes a lot of acceptance I am very self-critical and very perfectionist. Yes, I'm a perfectionist. Whew, let's just admit that. So whenever I do write something, I worry a lot about how my journal is going to look like. And I worry a lot about whether if I'll go off tangent, whether if I'll end up saying something that I'm not supposed to say, or I'm worried that if I write with big letters, it's going to affect how the aesthetics of the journal is going to be like. I can assure you, when I write these pages, I don't ever look back at it again. So let's say if I wrote this page, right? I do not really care what's behind here. I'm just glad that I did write something. Does that make sense? Meaning, like, I worry at the present moment as I'm writing it, but me in the future would not even care about it. But this is just in my case, is that I tend to worry about details that does not matter and will not matter. That's why I felt like having a journal prompt would have made it easier for me to journal, because then I know exactly what theme I'm going to write, how many pages it'll take me, what will the sentences look like. I'm also a person that thrives on patterns. I thrive on predictability. So I hate not knowing things. So that said, if people ask me to share my journal prompts, I would say I have none. I don't use journal prompts. What I do is, every morning, I wake up, I open a new page, I write the first thing that pops into my head. For example, if I have a pen right now, first thing that pops into my head is, why the hell is the neighbor downstairs making so much noise for the renovation? If I run out of things to say, then I'll write down my feelings. I feel so upset because every time I try to do something peaceful, something always gets in my way. And then if I don't know what to say anymore, I reflect on the previous sentence. Why is that? Maybe because I want to have control in my life. Why is that? Because I feel like I'm always losing control. Why is that? Because whenever I was a kid, I've never had control. So do you see how the train of thought just continues and continues and continues and continues? And of course, this takes a lot of practice, because I think I have been practicing questioning myself. I think I might have done that a bit too much out of habit, just like constantly questioning myself or being self-critical about my thoughts. But if it doesn't come naturally to you, then I hope that helps. Actually, just asking why and why and why and why, it helps you reflect better. And I think it plays a big part on my personality as well, because I've always had friends tell me that I ask stupid questions, which I'm not ashamed of, actually. Like, whenever I don't know something, I ask, and even though it might be a very simple question, I'm not ashamed to ask it, because I know that, you know, if I ask this time, then I wouldn't have to ask it the next time. So yes, that kind of practice really helps me in writing better. Sometimes you can go off tangent, and this is another point that I want to mention, is that you shouldn't be afraid of going off tangent, because it helps you to discover certain feelings that you have no idea about. For the first few times that you journal, obviously it's going to be really, really awkward. Like, if I looked at the first few pages here, like on the 27th July 2022, I wrote, "It's been a long time since I've journaled. The end of July was somehow of a roller coaster. I would have wrote some entries to track what had happened, so I guess the fact that I couldn't be bothered showed how chaotic life has been. I'm starting to vlog, I'm happier now, and I feel the weight on my shoulders lifted slowly day by day. There is a lot I am thankful for. I can't list them out now, but I thank God every day for what I have. Life is like that, right? Realizing that what you have should not be taken for granted, because God can just take it away." Yeah, so I think this is still authentic, but I don't think this is truly what I felt. So it does seem like I'm writing for somebody as compared to the journal entries that I wrote in the previous days. Okay, this one is from 28th November 2024. Today I let the ink bleed through. Today I let myself feel anxious. And today's the day I accept the lingering taste of human connection. Today I let myself lie down as I write. Today I allow for messy handwriting. Today I let him bother me in my head for a little while. Today I turn off the fan and sit still. Today I'll let my fingers hurt to the pressure of the pen. Today I take time to let my thoughts pass. Today I'll let myself flip to previous pages so I can check for consistency. Today I'll tell myself consistency doesn't matter. Tomorrow I'll worry about laundry. Tomorrow I'll think about what to wear. Tomorrow I'll get high. Tomorrow I promise I'll savor it as much as I will like I did today. I'm sorry I haven't thought about next week. Today is not gonna be the day to think about next week, I think. How much can a person think before it all disappears into thin air? Hopefully not in a week. I can't hear a week of this. I can barely handle 6 hours of this. Today I need to seek for connection elsewhere. Connection is a two-way street. Connection without reciprocity is rejection. It's okay to project. I'll tell myself that today. If that's what helps me in understanding this world today, I'll do it. Do you think I'll read this again in years coming and it'll recognize myself? I hope she knows that I'm trying to be kind to myself as time goes, and that she should do the same, if not more than what I'm doing right now. Hopefully she doesn't have to write down what she'll do today to feel like life has meaning again. Whew, that was a difficult read. If I used the journal prompt, I wouldn't be able to write as authentic as that. The benefits of journaling, obviously, I think that it really helps me to stay true to myself, because as you write these, your true feelings come out. So it does not matter how often you mask yourself, how often you try to put on a persona. You know who you are when you write these thoughts, right? You know if it's fake, you know if it's made up, you know if you're lying. And I think you don't have to prove that to anybody, as long as you yourself know it. And whether or not you want to do something about it, it's entirely up to you, but you have a written proof of the type of person that you want to be, or the type of person that you were, or you thought you were, in a book form. Which I feel like is the safest form, because you wouldn't want to do that on the internet, I think, right? I mean, if you do, then that's totally up to you, but not me. I think I don't want to put like my 100% of my life or 100% of what I think on the internet for people to see. But what I think journaling doesn't help me with is that it doesn't help me with sitting with my feelings. Oh my god, the freaking... Why I say this is because I'm in INTJ. If you're into MBTI, you know that INTJ are people who are very rational and logical. So whenever I have feelings or inner conflicts, I tend to quickly rationalize it, or I quickly try to solve it. I feel like it's a burden, so I tend to quickly get it out of my way so that I can, move forward, which is really wrong, because feelings will never go away. It will fade only if you acknowledge it. I've never been the type of person who likes to acknowledge feelings. I like it when I categorize and label those feelings and put it in a jar, and then I give myself justification on why it needs to be kept in a jar, and then when the jar gets too full, it gets overfilled and I have to deal with the consequences of that. So I've been trying to not label or categorize my feelings that much, so that I let it feel and I sit with that feeling. And I think naturally as time goes, the feeling will fade away and I don't have to deal with them. But sitting with the feeling itself is a very uncomfortable process for me, so journaling helps me to do that. Sometimes instinctively, I would rationalize how I feel. For example, if I feel hurt about something, I will try to rationalize it and say that maybe I feel hurt because of XXXX. That person hurt me because they are XXXX. First of all, that all of those things you know, the XXX are based on assumptions and not facts. Understanding your feelings without knowing what it is very dangerous, because you might end up gaslighting yourself, which you should not do. If you rationalize something but end up feeling it still, that's when it's a bit hard for you to move on. Your head and your heart do not align. And that can be very disorienting for somebody like me who thrives on patterns and observations. And if I'm really hurt about something, or if I'm really upset about something, I really try to dig in about how I really feel. So it's more of descriptors than verbs. I have nothing to say about journaling anymore, actually. Oh my god, I'm so sorry for the noise, guys. I hope this gives you guys some insights about how I journal, and I hope it does help you. Oh my, what the hell?